A shocking new CNN poll. President Biden has a 58% disapproval rating.
Disapproval rating.
Disapproval.
Remember that. You don't really hear that usually. You usually hear approval rating.
Yeah.
This is a disapproval rating.
Just 36% of independents. 9% of Republicans. I don't even know who those Republicans are. And his approval among Democrats has dropped to 83%. It was at 94% last summer. So he's even dropping amongst party line Democrats. Here's my favorite part. When those who disapproved of Biden's overall performance, remember that is the majority of people they talked to, 58%, only 56% had nothing positive to say at all, Logan.
Yeah,
they
nothing.
could not say
one thing.
One thing like, I like that Joe Biden got a puppy.
For most presidents, even the ones you disagreed with, Obama, whoever, you could maybe find one thing where like, well, they took out Osama bin Laden. Like there are things that you could go and go, well, that was pretty good. That was a good thing. Not one thing.
When they say 56% had nothing positive to say of the people who disapproved, that means only 2%. Because remember, 58% disapprove. Only 2% of that group could come up with anything they actually supported.
9% inside his own party. That might sound like a small number. Inside your own party, Jordan, that's a very big number. And the other thing is intensity here. There are 41% who strongly disapprove, while there's only 15 who strongly approve.
Strikingly, 56% of respondents in our poll who disapprove of Biden's job say he has made zero moves that they approve of. Zero. Not on coronavirus, not on the economy, not even on getting a cat. Do you think President Biden is doing everything he can to reach these voters?
Listen, Jake, we're in the doldrums at this point, and I think it really all relates back to that inflation situation together with the pandemic.
We're in the doldrums now, Jordan. I mean, how's that for inspiring confidence? That's not a backbencher either. That's a member of the leadership of the Senate of his party.
Bottom line, Americans, when you see this massive disapproval at almost 60%, that's outside of just partisan politics. It's the pocketbook. It is inflation. It is these economic issues and uncertainty still with COVID about when is life going to get back to normal. But inflation having a massive impact on every American.
You said inflation was going to be temporary. I think a lot of Americans are wondering what your definition of temporary is.
Well, you're being a wise guy with me a little bit, and I understand that's your job.
What?
A pretty direct question.
A direct and fair question, because does temporary mean up until this summer? So a full year? Because we're getting closer and closer to a year of this rising inflation. It wasn't a nasty question either. You listen to Lester Holt. That's something the president should be prepped on. It's the top issue that Americans are concerned about economically is inflation.
Why make a smart alecky remark? Or do we forget what he called Peter Doocy? Or what he told to one of the reporters who asked him a question and said, don't you know how to read? What do you do all the time? I mean, he's getting very short-tempered because nothing is happening, and he's being frustrated at every turn. Afghanistan, the Ukraine situation, 6,000 people going to be arrested every day at the border beginning this spring.
The newspapers, CNNs, the MSNBCs, the mainstream networks, the NBC, CBS, ABC, they have to be your friends to be a successful Democrat. You need them pushing your narrative because you've got this pushback against your narrative. So calling them names may not be the best idea for NBC's main nightly news host.
Average American people, their expenditures per month have gone up approximately $300 per month for food, clothing, and shelter. And yet, what is the Biden administration's response? Well, basically asking the Biden administration about it, turns out that he believes that the American people are simply being wise guys. And I think the American people, at the end of the day, they are going to resent that.
He should be expecting the question. He should be wanting the question. And he should be telling people, I'm the guy to fix it. Here's how I'm going to fix it. But yet he continually gets surprised by the question.
Listen, his poll numbers are upside down. That's a key reason why. International issues do affect Americans. I think Afghanistan especially. But it's the pocketbook ultimately. And I think that's why you get this massive disapproval number, Logan, at 58%. It's why every time he gets asked about inflation, he calls the reporter, whether it's Lester Holt being a wise guy, Steve Doocy being something else, it's always a name calling.